Well, good evening. Welcome to the DBS Sports. I am Kenson Casimir. We begin tonight with cricket. The St. Lucia National Cricket Association released the names of the teams selected to represent St. Lucia at the 2018 Windward Islands Cricket Tournament. Not making the final cut for this year's competition is West Indies reserve under-19 cricketer John L. Eugene and former Windward Island batsman Craig Emmanuel. Wow. The team comprises two newcomers, Colin Calendar and Jeremy Marshall. Well, DBS Sports understands that Marshall has lived in Barbados but is from a St. Lucian parentage. St. Lucia team for the Windward Islands Senior Tournament 2018 includes Johnson Charles as captain, Kediles Boris as vice-captain, Kimani Melius, Tariq Gabriel, Jamal James, Dalton Polius, Odi Alexander, Stephen Natram, Donan Edward, Larry Edward, Kevin Augustine, Colin Calendar, and Jeremy Marshall. Now the reserve players, John L. Eugene, Tonya Simon, and Craig Emmanuel, also Vidal Crandon. These individuals will fill in should anybody get injured. Now, the Minder Phillip Park and the Larissos playing field in the Mabia Valley will be the venues used for the Windward Islands Senior Cricket Tournament. A tournament which bowls off this Saturday will be a 50-over-a-side format with the top two teams playing in the final at the Minder Phillip Park. The match schedule is as follows. On Saturday 26 at the MPP, St. Lucia, they come up against Dominica. And the Mabia Valley Grenada takes on St. Vincent and the Grenadines. On Sunday 27th at the MPP, St. Lucia, they take on a Grenada. While the Mabia Valley, at the Mabia Valley, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, they take on Dominica. And the final day, Tuesday 29th at the MPP, Dominica, they come up against Grenada. And in the Mabia Valley, St. Lucia, they take on St. Vincent and the Grenadines. All matches, they are scheduled to bowl off at 9:30 a.m. Now, the Department of Youth Development and Sports 2018 Secondary Schools Under-15 40-over cricket tournament. It continued on Tuesday, May 22nd with two completed matches. At the Grosley Playing Field, Castries Comprehensive Secondary, they recorded their first victory in the tournament so far, winning over winless Sir Ira Simmons Secondary by just 2 wickets. Sir Ira Simmons Secondary batting first was bowled out for 107 in 30.2 overs, with Jared Emmanuel contributing 40. Bowling for Castries Comprehensive, Daniel Carew, he bagged a 3-4-3 in 4 overs. Marshall's Donovan Phillip, he bagged a 3-4-14 in 5.2 overs. Wow. And Keanu Felicia, he bagged 2-4-5 in 7 overs. And 1 wicket each was given to Jabari Emilia and Vishal Singh. Well, in reply, Castries Comprehensive, aided by a generous number of extras handed to them by Cyrus Simmons, they finished on 108 for 8 in 30.2 overs. Jabari Emilia, he top scored with a patient 18 not out, and Leothas Augustine made 10. Bowling for Cyrus Simmons, Shaquan Nelson, he bagged a 2-4-5 in 4 overs. Jonathan James, he took 2-4-16 in 9 overs. Now, at the PI Playing Field, unbeaten Shosel Secondary defeated PI Secondary by 96 runs. Shosel Secondary taking first knock in a game reduced to 20 overs aside due to a late start. They made 168 for 4 in their allocated overs, with Windward Islands under-15 player Stephen Theothim. He was better known for his seam bowling. He top scored with 73 not out, and Jamal Bissett 20. The wicket takers for PI Secondary were Siobhan Albert, Delvin Charles, Joshua Monroe, and Miguel Lawrence with 1 wicket each. In response, PI Secondary was dismissed for 68 in 16.4 overs, with Jovan Albert making 30, the only batsman to reach double figures. Bowling for Social Secretary Ajani Louis, he bagged a 3-4-8 in 3 overs. Sky Lafay 2-for-13 in 2.4 overs, and Jaime Sendemi 2-for-21 in 2 overs. Now, on Saturday, May 19th, the VSCDC Youth Academy hosted a lecture on the topic substance abuse for its under-17 football team. This lecture was the first in a series of life skills topics which the attendees of the VSCDC Youth Academy will be exposed to as the Academy seeks to actualize its motto of Beyond Football. Parents and players were invited to the lecture, which was delivered by Ms. Joanne Joseph of the Substance Abuse Council. Ms. Joseph is a former director of the Turning Point Rehabilitation Center, and she has a wealth of experience in executing educational programs and interacting with persons who are struggling with substance abuse issues. Now, the lecture was tailored for teenagers, and Ms. Joseph provided details on the various classes of substances which are often abused locally, the process and consequences of addiction, and effects of these substances on the human body. The management of the VSCDC Youth Academy felt that it was important to expose the under-17 age group to this message, given the prevalence of the abuse of alcohol and narcotics among this age group of the population. Parents were invited, so so that they could acquire the necessary knowledge and information to recognize the early signs of substance abuse, as well as to have frank and open discussions with the under-17 team on this very important topic. Team captain Giovanni Saltibus pledged that the VSADC under-17 football team would not succumb to the temptation of experimenting with illicit substances, and he thanked Ms. Joseph for providing his team with information which will allow them to make correct choices when faced with negative peer pressure. Wow. Well, we take a break, but when we get back, St. Lucia's former Governor General endorses the 2018 Walk for a Cause. We'll tell you why when we get back. Welcome back. Now, Club GA is set to host its 5th annual Walk for a Cause on Sunday, June 3rd, 2018. The event will start from the VG Roundabout at 6:30 a.m. and will continue along the John Compton Highway, ending at the club grounds at Bois de Wash. The cause chosen for this year is the St. Lucia Blind Welfare Association, an institution that has provided decades of unmatched service to the nation's visually impaired and now required their support to continue its mission. Now, Dame Paulette Louisi, patron of the Blind Welfare Association during her tenure as our Governor General, continues to hold this cause close to her heart and has provided a full endorsement of the activity.
Fellow St. Lucians, I have served as patron of the St. Lucia Blind Welfare Association for the 20 years I held office as Governor General. This charity is very, very dear to me, as I have seen the marked and significant differences in the lives of so many of our visually impaired. I am delighted that Club GA has selected the St. Lucia Blind Welfare Association for its cause for 2018. I encourage all able-bodied St. Lucians to show up and walk on June 3rd in support of the St. Lucia Blind Welfare Association and Walk for a Cause 2018.
Well, registration is only $30 for adults, $25 for children under 12. Teams comprising a minimum of 10 members will also pay a reduced fee of $25 per participant. Registration can be done at the Digital Experience store on William Peter Boulevard, the Blue Monkey, Castries and Rodney Bay branches, the Bread Basket, Steve's Barbershop, and of course from Club GA members. Now, former Trinidad and Tobago international Shaka Hislop believes the bids of Caribbean countries to make the FIFA World Cup are often heavily set back by unrealistic expectations. Well, in tournaments, 21 editions of the tournament, the Caribbean have combined for 4 berths in the World Cup so far. The teams that have made the World Cup final are Haiti, Cuba, Jamaica, and Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago was the last team to do so in 2002. On each of the occasions that they qualified, both Jamaica and Trinidad and Tobago were the smallest teams to qualify for the tournament. In these instances, however, Hislop believes beating sizable odds has led to a warped perspective of sorts. Smaller Caribbean nations with much fewer resources have attempted to model their programs of much bigger and more successful nations with very little probability of success. I feel that a lot of the dialogue is about how we emulate what Spain is doing and what Germany is doing, Hislop told SB Nation. And I guarantee whoever wins the World Cup come July, it will be, well, what have they done and how can we copy them? You can't copy them. It's this kind of shift in focus that I think has kept us back. Well, New England captain Harry Kane says the team can win the World Cup in Russia and anything else is not good enough. Now, striker Kane, who's 24, was informed about being made skipper by manager Gareth Southgate a few weeks ago, and it was officially confirmed on Tuesday. Now, Kane, he scored 41 goals in all competitions last season as Tottenham finished 3rd in the Premier League. It's impossible not to dream about lifting the World Cup. It's the biggest competition in the world, said Kane. I believe we can win it. Anyone can. I cannot sit here and say we are not going to win it because we could do so. Now, England head to Russia on the 12th of June and face Tunisia in the opening game on the 18th of June, followed by matches against Panama and Belgium. Wow, Harry Kane, good dream. Well, finally, the Houston Rockets leveled their series against the Golden State Warriors on Tuesday night.
Here's Gordon on the drive, and he banks it home.
But everyone's just standing around watching.
Thompson from downtown. Yes. For certain specifications.
Unwritten rules.
Yeah, the Reggie rules. Livingston inside.
Timeout.
See Iguodala looking to pull the chair. Here's Harden with the layup. Advantage for the Warriors. Game one of this best of 7. Durant, yes. Rebounded by Paul. Harden puts a move on Thompson, lays it up for Harden on a crossover. Harden on a step back. Yes. 10-point Golden State lead. Harden with a series of moves. Durant in his.
But that's Houston's fault. Nobody from Houston got back past half court on that defensive play.
Thompson wide open for 3. Paul whips it to Harden, back the other way. Ariza on the drive, and he lays it home. We are action-packed here from the broadcast point of view as Curry hits on the moving it across. A solid second half for the Warriors. Green has turned back in recent games. Well, his Rockets are trailing here with Curry adding to the.
We got sockless on the beach with
new
some
viewers.
loafers.
Well, you could have 2 different names.
Sure.
Hampton's 5 as Paul takes to the rim. Curry would not allow Harden to take the shot. And that'll do it.
Wow, well, the series goes back to Houston for Game 5 on Thursday night at 9 p.m. Tonight, Cleveland, they take on Boston in their Game 5. Wow. Well, that's sport. The DBS News continues after the break.